noise sensors indicate a new episode of Dave's Vintage Apple Tech has just been uploaded.
Hi guys, this is Dave from Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, and so we're going to continue working on the Franken Mac. And so what we're going to do this week is we're going to make a remote button. So what's going to happen is this is how you would normally turn on the Mac Mini. You get the little button here on the back right there. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to tap into the button wires here, and we are going to take this actually is off of RC cars and planes here. These RC plugs for the servos, but this worked just fine because it's low voltage. And so anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to basically cut this cable in half. We're going to put one end of this onto the splice wire on the Mac Mini, and then on the other one you'll see that little thing right here, and we're going to be putting this little tack switch on it right here. It's this little button switch there, momentary contact, got a little adhesive on the back of it, and we're going to put the other end of the plug on here. So that way if we ever need to service it, we can just simply unplug it, and this way this will just basically be hooked into a parallel, so the other switch would work just fine as well as this one. And so anyway, trying to do this without making any holes in the cover here. And so the beauty of it is we're going to try to maintain the classic look of it. And this is the button and programmer switch. So what we're going to do is that switch will be on there. This will be lined up, and we've already kind of filed this little thing right there. That's where the switch is going to be when it makes contact. So when you push in on it, you're going to hear a little click, and you just hold in on it, and it'll power up the Mac Mini. If you ever needed to hold in on it, do like a reset or something like that, you can do that too. But anyway, that's what's for the plan today. So anyway, basically where we're at now, and I have been working on it a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, you notice I've got the power supply just kind of temporarily stuck up for some Velcro, and that's the way I'm going to mount it, and I'll put a piece of Velcro on it. But you see that's where the plug goes on it there. The wire is going to be laying up nice against the case, and then I got these two little right here, these two little rubber stands, and this is going to keep the Mac Mini level so we get good airflow through it. Okay, didn't want it laying down all the way on the case here because I want to be able to keep both sides of the board have air, because you got the vents here and that the fan is in there, so it's just going to help keep it cool. And so eventually we're going to blow this back plate out so we can put that in, and then we're going to get real creative back here. So anyway, that's what's on the plan today, and we're going to then next we're going to modify this plug. And this has the access lights. So when you power it up, when you're looking at the front of the Mac Mini, you see the little white LED. Well, that will be over here, there. So we have to lengthen the cable. So we're going to have to do that too. Might not get that done in today's episode, but for sure we're going to get the power situation taken care of here. And yeah. And it's coming together very slowly, and we just got to kind of keep piddling away on it here. Also, I'm going to be doing another video of the one I released last week about the beta version of Snow Leopard 10.6 beta, and my gosh, there has been such a response to this thing. But anyway, I put it on my cube, and it runs it, but it is very, 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 very slow, because you know you got to have a high megahertz speed for this Snow Leopard to run anyway. Mine's only 600 megahertz, even that's with the modified board in it, And really you need at least minimally about an 860, 900 megahertz system to run it relatively okay. So I put it on my MacBook Pro, my old one there, and it's a G4, and it runs pretty good. Airport doesn't work, but supposedly there is a fix. You have to go in and kind of delete some kernel text and substitute it with some new kernel text, and it's supposed to make the airport work on it. Right now I just got it Etherneted in the board, on the computer rather. So yeah, so going to be doing a video on that too. Actually, I'm filming it at the same time I'm doing this one, so both of these will probably come out within a day or so of each other. So anyway, let's get back to the matter at hand here. We're going to start working on this thing, and what we're going to start doing is splicing some wires and doing a little soldering, and then we'll get that switch hooked up, we'll get it all mounted up, and then we'll get the switch secured on it, and then we'll test it, see if it works. Okay, so we got our little tack switch all wired up here, and the plug is on the other side there. So we're going to make our connection here, and then what we'll do is we'll slide the once we solder it, then we'll put our shrink wrap on it, heat that up, and then I got another bigger piece that'll go over it, and that'll shrink up, and then what we got to do then is put the other plug on the computer itself there. And we're just using the on this here, we're just using the brown and red wire here. This is a 3-wire plug here, but we just basically just stripped it and got rid of that orange wire there. So we're just using the red and the brown. Okay, so we're gonna solder it here, and so be right back. I'm gonna get it all set up here. Okay, so we're gonna do some soldering here. We've already got that fluxed up, and we're just going to put a little solder on the iron here, and what we're going to do is we are going to heat it from underneath here, and it should be pretty good here. There we go, it looks good. Now we'll do the other side here. There we go. All right, done. Let's make sure we're stuck. Yep, good. We are good. So now we'll slide the shrink wrap up here. That. We'll do the other side here. Normally I kind of offset them, but I didn't do it. That way you don't accidentally run into some issues here. So let's get this all in there. There we go. And we're going to get that on there like that. And we're going to use the soldering iron to kind of shrink it up a little bit there. And just clean the tip of it up here a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to kind of heat it up here a little bit. So I guess we'll just get both of them here at the same time here. We're just going to kind of usually I like to use a hair dryer, but this will work. This is old school, guys. There's another way of doing it too. I have a little miniature torch. I just flash it with the torch and it shrinks it up real quick. Anyway, alright, so that is done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slide that big piece over here so we can make a nice clean connection. Okay, so we got the bigger wire slid over it here. And we're just going to heat this up here. Slide this case back here so we don't have a disaster here. And again, we're just going to kind of take and just heat it up here a little bit here. And then we'll make it shrink up here and make a nice connection here. As far as protecting it, it won't be shorting out on anything here. Okay, we should be good. We will inspect our work here. That looks good, that's not going anywhere. And our tack switch, it has double-sided foam tape on it here. And it's going to kind of go in there. I'll have to adjust it a little bit, but once I get the switch mounted on it, it's not going to go anywhere. But you can see right there, get the switch mounted right there, and you hear it clicking. And then, like I said, when we stick the button on it here, and we have to get it lined up. Let's see, I'm trying to remember how I did it. You see here, I have to adjust it a little bit here. So, yeah, so yep. So I'll have to adjust it a little bit here, because I did do it without the foam on it. And if I can't take that down enough, I might just take that foam off of it there, because I don't want to. Because I got to mount this up there too. That's really pushing on it quite a bit. So anyway, I might shave that down a little bit more on that button there. So be back in a few. Okay, guys. So we got that tack switch mounted, and I got the little button here. I just have to secure it. I have some glue I'm going to use. It won't hurt the case. It stays kind of rubbery, but it'll mount it firmly so it won't pop off. And then, but you can see as we push it, it works. Yeah, works really good. So anyway, this is what it looks like without the switch on it. Just a little switch mounted behind there. Real simple. And like I said, pretty cool. That way we have some of the nostalgic look to it from the side anyway. And so yeah. So okay, so now what we're going to do is, I guess I'll just leave that on there for now, is we're going to work on the other part here. And that is, we're going to splice the button on the Mac Mini here, the power button. And let me grab it here. It's way over here on the other side over here. And got it there. For a little tiny little board, man, this thing's kind of heavy. Amazing. But anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to, that's a sticker on there. I'm going to take that off, but we're going to graft into this wire so we can put that plug on it, so it'll be in parallel, so that button will work also, as well as the one on the side of the FRANKIN Mac there. Okay, so alright guys, so I'm gonna get this all set up here, and then we'll get these wires soldered on there. Be back. Okay guys, so we got our wires bared here, and so I'm going to do one wire at a time here. So we're going to get this one soldered up here, and then we can do the other one here. And we get some solder here. Alright, so carefully just get this underneath here like so. I'm just going to put a little extra solder on it here just to make sure. Okay. Alright. And I'll make sure that that's stuck on there good. And it is. Now we're going to get the other side on here. Okay, so now we're going to get the other one done here. And again, we got to be really careful not to mess anything up here. That looks pretty good there. Let's see here. Yes, we are connected. All right. So now you might ask, well, how's he going to protect these wires? And I'm just going to put a little silicone over it, and that will keep them from shorting out. And then what I will do, then once I silicone them, then I'm going to kind of squish them all together here, so we'll have a little support there. And but yeah, so what we're going to do now is we are going to see if our little button works. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we're going to see if this powers up. Hopefully it does. And so I got the little activity light right there, so when it powers up you should see the fan spinning up in it. And so we're going to flip the power on in the back here, so the power's on, and we're going to hit our little button on the side here. Hey, look at that. Lovely. It works. Awesome. And you can see it's lit up there. Now there's no hard drive on it or anything like that, so I'm just going to turn it off here by holding this button here, and that should turn it off there. There we go. And she's off. Very good. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Obviously I'm gonna, like I said, I'll get the silicone, I'll get this all nice and wire wrapped up in here so it looks really nice here. It's not, that won't be dangling, but the reason why I wanted it long is that way if I ever need to pull it out for anything, I obviously have to unplug the power supply there, but I have a long wire, and then if I need to unhook it, I just pull these two apart right here and it's unhooked. So it makes it real easy. So yeah guys, so yeah, and like I said, I got the little shims up here to give us some airflow here, and yeah, so it's looking pretty good there. That should actually go right about there is where it will be. And yeah, it's looking good. And like I said, this will all be tied up in there and everything. But yeah, I'll turn the power off on it here. So yeah guys, so good. So now all we have to do is lengthen this cable here, and then I can mount that up into here on this computer here. So let me, there you go. So basically I will mount that little light. It's going to go in behind here, and then of course when it's powered up, that will be lit. And again, I'll have the cord long enough to where, and I'll put a connector on that too, so we can unplug it as needed. Anyway, that's my thought right now. Maybe I might change it. I might just use a Velcro to stick it up there, and then if we got to take it off, we pull the Velcro off. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, so now I got to figure out, I got to get some tiny wire, because this is pretty thin wire on this thing, and pull this down so you guys see what I'm talking about here. So this is, there's like five or six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires, and it goes to that lead there. And so anyway, I have to graft 5 wires onto that, and I think I have a plug that is about the same thing. Should be easy to graft that on there, and then we will be on the next step. Now I do have the SSD out of it because I'm working on a MacBook for a gentleman, but I think it's going to need a new logic board. It will not accept any software. The only way I got software on it was basically to clone the disk, and the issue was with it, in fact here, let me I'll swing it over here. That right there, I've been working on it. But anyway, the issue of it is I had gotten this all, I did a video on this, I had gotten this all fixed up for the gentleman, replaced the screen, put a new optical drive in, because the other one, excuse me, well, let me back up here. I put a new optical drive because the optical drive didn't work on it. I put a new hard drive in it because the other hard drive was dead. It was mechanical, so we have the 1 terabyte SSD in there. And then the glass was broken on it, so I had to replace, that's my fingerprint, but replace the glass, did all that, and had to replace the battery because the battery was shot in it. Well, I've had this for about 3 weeks now, and I noticed when I got it, I couldn't right click the trackpad. Well, kind of find out, the battery, the new battery that I had put in it, had started swelling up. So it was just all getting all puffed up in here. And so what was happening is it goes in a machine kind of like that. And so what was happening is it was pushing up against that trackpad. So I just got a new battery for it. I put the battery in, and it's working fine. Another issue I noticed is it was taking forever to charge it too. Put this other new one in there, and it works fine. Fortunately, these batteries have a 3-year warranty on them. Told them what the issue was, showed them pictures. They apologized. They sent me a new one, and got it in about a week. And so we got the new battery in it. So really, the only thing wrong with this Mac is it's got a little scratch up there, but other than that, the cover's pretty darn clean on it, especially on the bottom. There's no dents or scratches or nothing on it. So anyways, that's my project. Like I said, I have Leopard on it, because this one is the oldest version of software you can run on this. And what I wanted to do is get Snow Leopard on it so I could upgrade it to El Capitan, which that's what I had on it before. I had the SSD partitioned. I had a 500 megabyte on El Cap, and I had the other 5 on High Sierra with DOS Dude's Patcher. And so I said you can go back and forth either system, and it was working great. And then, like I said, he said it just started doing weird things, so I got a hold of it, and even in safe mode, this thing was wigging out. So I wiped the drive, and when I go and try to install the software, it gets about maybe 10-15 minutes into it, and it says cannot read the disk. So I tried a USB, same problem. I tried a DMG file, internal, within the drive, same problem. I went in terminal, and the date was wrong on it. I put the date in it, thinking, oh, this ought to fix it. Nope, won't fix it. It didn't do it. So, all the things I've been looking at kind of lead me to the logic board. There's something wrong with the processor. Although it's very stable on Leopard, it seems to be running fine. It's just it will not let me add any software. I even took the RAM out, reseated them, swapped the RAM modules in it. Didn't make any difference. So that's where we're at with this. So probably gonna have to put a new logic board in it, which fortunately I've seen them for under $100, so that's not too bad. So, but it's just up to the gentleman if he wants to go to the expense, because I put about $300 in it the first time I did it, and that was including the labor. I didn't charge him that much to work on it. Basically $100 to all the stuff that I did to it. So anyway, it's a nice little laptop, but that's the issue. So anyway, sorry getting off topic here. Let's get back to the Franken Mac here. So anyway, we are still going to, like I said, we're going to lengthen the plug on this so we can get the light in there, activity light, and then we'll get the SSD back in it. I have another one I'm going to be putting in it. And then we're going to start taking and getting this display thing worked out. And like I said, I have to modify this I/O port in the back, and just that way we can get access to all the plugs and stuff. But anyway, I think it looks pretty cool like that. It's great. Like I said, you just kind of hit your button there, turn it off, turn it on. Works really good. So anyway, guys, I think this is looking pretty good, and I got the decals on. I will show you guys how to make decals. So if you want to put them on a project that you're doing, if you want to make like an Apple logo or anything, you just use your inkjet printer or laser printer, color one, and you can take and make them on a printer. And it's pretty neat. And they're water slide decals, and then when you're done, then you should overspray it with like a dull coat just in that one spot. Krylon makes it, and you're not really even going to notice it on the case there. So it's not going to be shiny or anything. It'll be dull just like the rest of it. So anyway, guys, so all right. So anyway, like I said, this video will be going up here probably today or tomorrow, and then also, like I said, I'm working on the 10.6 Snow Leopard beta. I've had a lot of people asking me about that, and like I said, on my laptop, which we'll go in more detail on that, I'll go in more detail on a video on it and stuff. And but I think you guys will like that video too. All right, guys. So anyway, you have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. Today it's Sunday. Luckily for me, I have 3 days off, so I don't go back to work till Wednesday, so I'm liking that. So anyway, guys, so you have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.